Your salt? Now we are live on the stream.
Recording.
Got people in the chat. Adam Birmingham
People.
says, "Howdy, guys.
Howdy.
Hope we're all good." Darren Sim says, "Hey."
So,
So yeah, there's a voice missing, but we'll get into that.
yeah.
Whenever you like, Duke. Well, I don't know what you want to do when you want to start. You got stuff to
Let's
prepare.
start the motherfucking show, bitch.
You ready?
Let's go.
I'm gonna edit it so it's closer together.
Flawless.
Welcome yo to the veteran gamers.
You require a 3-bedroom bisexual house share.
Playing this week. News, reviews, and an indie pick. Stu story
Oh,
time,
hey,
cheese
Ginger
cake
Balls.
breakers. Here comes Duke with the soundbite saviors.
Here comes the Sticker Man.
Yeah,
It's the
shut up,
veteran
kid.
gamers. It's the veteran gamers.
Pork chop sandwiches.
Yeah, boy.
Hi, this is Bud Gundelach, and welcome again
Switch that
to my
console
show,
up before you
Something's
have to press
Happening.
repeat, Yo.
Listen, I don't have time to play with the phone here. I got a lot of stuff I got to get done.
Hello. Welcome to episode 509 of the Veteran Gamers podcast. This week,
Hey, 509.
I am your host, Mr. Mike Chin, and as you can tell, the usual voice is not here. We'll get into that a little bit later, but with me is whom?
I am Duke Scath. Coming at you live and direct in your earphone drum.
Correct. My good friend, Eric. How are you,
Yeah.
Eric?
I'm good. I've been grading papers for a while today, and I got laundry to fold right here in my laundry basket.
Yep.
So I'm going to do that, and we'll do a podcast. We'll talk about some video games.
Correct. I have a pile of clothes at the bottom of my bed, and I said to Tara that looks like a Sunday job. It is
Yeah.
now Sunday night, and I have not done that.
Yeah,
So,
that's the one thing I'm actually pretty good about. I actually like washing dishes, and I'm pretty good about doing my laundry at a reasonable clip.
I don't mind doing it. I just didn't do it. So there you
Sometimes-
go.
I'm up, yeah.
And I'm
What did
very
you do?
good.
And what was the highlight of your weekend, Shinny?
You know what? We've had a very, very chill weekend.
Yeah.
Very let's just sit at home and sometimes do our own thing. And then I made Tara, even though I saw it on the plane, I made Tara watch Vice.
Oh,
and
yeah?
she got very, very angry.
Hear about you making her watch it.
Sorry?
You mad about what?
No, just mad about what it was about,
Oh, gotcha.
which was, kind of
The
invaded.
wholesale destruction of the American Constitution in
Yes.
the hands of.
I have to say,
Well, I
it's not.
said
It's,
about it too.
it's not a
Right-
great movie to watch when you're entering America. Because
Well,
you enter America and you land and you're like, I don't want to be here now. It's
welcome to
ridiculous.
my life. That's
So,
every day I wake up.
but luckily I love America, so it took me a very quick moment to snap out of it. But she didn't realize that we didn't really need to invade Iraq
No.
at all. She didn't know that, and she was very shocked by it. But it's a very
Well,
good movie.
Really, he should be in prison, in my opinion. But whatever.
Who should?
Dick Cheney.
Yes, he should be in
Yeah.
prison. And
And
Tara's
Donald
main.
Trump's getting impeached. Oh snap!
Tara's. See, I don't understand American politics very well, so that's why I need to wait for Adam McKay to make a movie about it for
Yeah,
me to
there you-
understand it. You see,
I'm not
Uh,
going to start talking about it because I've been talking about it all week, and I
Yes.
know nobody tunes into this to hear Duke prattles on about stuff.
no.
So
So
one of
we've
these
been-
days I'll do a Sincast, but
we've-
not yet.
We've been watching a lot of Bake Off and Vice, which, by the way, apart from its topic, the actual film, like the costume, the makeup, the direction, the
So,
writing.
Like the actors do a great job in that.
Oh
movie.
my God, what a movie!
Yeah. If you haven't seen Vice, people go see it.
It's great. Is Moneyball any good?
Yeah, it is. I don't care about sports even a little bit, but I enjoyed it. Brad
Yeah.
Pitt's awesome, obviously. He's
Brad
in some
Pitt.
new science fiction movie, isn't he?
I watched it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I
You
watched-
did. You
I
liked it,
watched
didn't you?
Yeah, it's good. It's very simple, but it's good.
I'll check it out at some point.
Anyway, Stu's not here, and the reason why Stu's not here is because he called me last minute and said that he's not very well. He's not feeling very well. So, but that's fine. We have 7 viewers live, which is fine. You can listen to us live. That's great, and I might shout you out like I'm shouting out Adam Birmingham, who says that he's streaming us live on his TV right now.
Sweet.
However, most people listen to the podcast on their journeys, where they're washing dishes, driving the car, grooming a dog. What else? What other ridiculous things can people do?
When you're on the toilet taking a dump, you could
It's
listen
not
to
that
us.
ridiculous, Stu.
that's not-
Duke, sorry.
You could listen to us while skydiving. That would
Yeah,
be
that'd be
exciting.
good. Skydiving,
1,000 feet.
moonwalk.
Oh, yeah. Maybe under the sea.
Wash-
If you're in a boat or submarine.
washing a seal.
Yeah.
There's
Or
lots of different things.
Maybe you're not washing seals. Maybe you're washing rocks.
Well, there are rocks. Thousands and thousands of rocks.
I have rocks that need washing at home.
Soul Brother #1 is also saying, "Hey y'all." So we're gonna seeing as it's just me and you, Eric. I did try to get somebody else on, but I got denied from 2 different people. It's like
Everybody in
being
this town's a bunch of deadbeats, as Homer Simpson once said.
it's like being back at school for me.
Yeah.
But
Whatever,
when-
we don't need anybody. We can do this ourselves.
that's right. So I'm going to include a bit of the chat this week because we've got no one else to join us.
Pick up, people.
So Jake in the chat says hi. He says hi, Chinny, really, because everybody likes me more than the other 2. Adam Birmingham says, "But you're not military veterans." That's correct, Adam.
But
We're
we're
not
not military veterans.
And Rob said, "Did you fly your drone in America?" Yes, I did. I flew it around by the coast area of California, and
You get some good.
I did. I got some great footage. I haven't checked it yet, but it looked good on the phone, and I did want to fly it on the way to Vegas. However, I watched the news, and it was I was in Vegas around about the same time as the Area 51 storm,
Oh yeah.
and they gave
Can't
some
stop all of
advice.
us.
They gave some advice to the people camping out by Area 51, and that advice stuck with me when I was.
Shoot down anything in the air.
No. The advice was if you are in Nevada, remember it's a desert and there are scorpions and snakes. And I decided that I did not want to meet any of those scorpions and snakes, so I chose to drive on in the
Smart.
car. Yes. Anyway, right. Have we got any stories or anything like that?
We gotta have a
Favorite
story.
time. It's story time.
Story time.
I'll tell you this story. This is real quick. This week we went over our favorite words, and of course my favorite word is defenestrate. As I've said on the show before, it's the act of putting someone or something through a window. And when I mentioned this one time to Stu, he was like, "That's stupid. Why is there even a word for that?"
That's
and then
true.
the next week he played Mass Effect 2. And as you have the ability, if you choose the Renegade option at one point in that game,
Yeah.
to defenestrate someone.
Defenestrate. That's a good word.
It's a great word. It's a very unlikely
Defenestrate.
anybody will ever get to use it unless you're talking
Yeah.
about Mass Effect 2. But I was telling that story to the class about how he came back the next week and was like, "Oh my God, I did that thing with the window."
Yeah.
And the student goes, "You said you do a podcast?" And I was like, yeah. Let's move on. And he's like, "I'm going to find it." And he starts pushing on his phone. And I was like, "Oh, great. That's all we need is students listening to this." And then he goes, "Found it." And I was like, "What?" And he showed me. And he was pointing out the Sincast. And I was like, "No, that's not their podcast." "Not? It's your name." I'm like, "Yeah, that's my personal podcast." He's like, "How many podcasts do you have?" 7. Let's move on, please. Attention listeners, it's not true. I don't have 7 podcasts, but I wanted to get the kid confused so he would
Yeah.
give it up trying to find this.
Did it work?
I don't know. Sometimes they'll keep on afterwards.
Maybe.
A few years back, somebody shared with me a Google Doc that someone had shared with him, indicating a number of different areas on the web where my presence was known. So they had my
Wow.
Reddit links on there. They had my Wikipedia user page. And it wasn't like they weren't doing anything nefarious with it. I think it was kind of a fan page type thing. Like, check out all this stuff Mr. P's done. It was still kind of weird to be
That's
like,
weird.
kind of stalking me a little bit.
Yeah, that's strange. Yeah, no, I'm so glad that I'm not a teacher. I'm sorry, Eric. That's just not for me.
I like it. It's fun. I actually had a really interesting conversation with a teacher 2 towns over. She got in touch with me on email about she's starting a hip hop club at her school, and she heard that I did a hip hop class. So she's like, "You have any tips for hip hop in the classroom?" And I was like, "I got all the tips. Let's have lunch." And so we met up and we had lunch and we talked about it. And the craziest thing is, she did her student teaching in Watsonville. Now,
You're gonna have to explain why that's crazy.
did you drive from San Francisco to LA?
We did.
You passed Watsonville.
Oh, did I?
It's in California, in between those 2 cities. It's a really small rural town.
Right.
And I spent a summer there in 1999 doing East Timor stuff. So the fact that she did her student teaching there is so random, and it's such an amazing coincidence. I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So that's my 2 stories for the week.
Excellent. Well, Adam in the chat says my story is that I went to the Manchester United and Newcastle live game in Newcastle. I'm a United fan. Had lots of angry Geordies shouting at me following their win. That's why.
What would that sound like? Angry Geordie
Fighting
shouting?
you fucking bastard later. Fighting, getting a goal. That kind of like that.
That was my favorite part about Animal Antics. What's it called? Creature Comforts. The Aardman animation show.
Yes. Yeah.
Is Geordie Mouse. That was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Creature Comforts is great.
I need to get. I lent them to somebody and I don't have them anymore. Those DVDs.
Shall we? This is going to be a short show, everybody.
It's going to be
me and Duke don't have anything. Stu's the talker, right? And he's the one who drags things out because he laughs at sexy, inappropriate innuendo and all that stuff. His stories.
Stick up the bum with your itchy dump.
Oh, bloody hell, I've got an headache and it's fucking the shooting pain up me fucking backside, or something like that.
Go on to what you've been playing already. We have to talk
Like,
about
we gotta talk. I was like,
people want to talk about things.
yeah, no, fuck that. So we're going to go on to video games. All right, I'm going to kick it off.
Yes, please be my guest.
I'm going to kick it off with a bit of Snooker 19.
All right, I thought maybe that was a Russian accent and you had some Russian game you were playing.
No, totally not. I'm afraid it's going to be Snooker 19.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, you turning your back to the microphone or something?
I'm trying to do my laundry at the same time. I thought you were about to start a monologue about Snooker 19.
No, I'm going to keep you on your toes, you laundry folding prick.
But is there even anything to say about Snooker 19? We're just going to channel Stu all during the show.
Yeah.
I mean, when you play, you hit the balls in, that's it. What is there to talk about?
All right,
now,
I'll do
VR fishing, that's something to talk about.
I'll do a monologue. You fold your shit. Right, so Snooker 19.
I'm ready to comment as you go.
Yeah, Snooker 19 has been around for a while. It's been around since April, and it might have run its course a little bit.
Uh-oh.
It's fair to say that it's not as popular as it used to be. I have done 20...
Among you or among other people?
Among other people.
Okay.
So it's safe to say that I don't get as many viewers on the live stream every Thursday.
Yeah.
Probably because I was away for 2 weeks. That kind of affected things. I still get a good 10 or 15-ish, which isn't too
10,
bad.
15 people tuning in. Like I feel like I never get that when I stream. Now, granted, I don't stream a lot, and I stream Rocket League, and there's not a lot of people watching me play that.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's pretty good. 10 or 15.
It is good.
It is good. But at the same time, the whole point of the Thursday night thing is for people to play me, and there's only like 2 or 3 people playing me. I kind of look like a big sad twat. Just go, please somebody play me. I just want friends, So I've decided that 20 episodes every Thursday, hardly missing any Thursday, I think that's a good effort. I think I've done well.
It is.
Yeah.
You've done a good job with it, and now it's time to draw a line under it, maybe.
It's time to... I know what game I want to play next week. I'm going to play Untitled Goose Game.
Oh, sweet.
So by the time people are hearing this, it'll be Thursday, around about 7, 8-ish. I'll stream that live. and give it a go because it looks like a funny game. So I don't know when I'm going to stream every Thursday. I might go back to snooker. I might not. I don't know. But we've got EGX coming up.
Noise about it. Maybe you'll go back to snooker. But
I think
now...
I'm still going to do Extra Life, and I'm still going to do 24 hours of snooker.
Wow, that's a lot of snooker, man.
That's a lot of snooker. So.
We have a lot of people show up specifically for that because it's a special event.
I think so. So I've got a bit of a plan. I'm going to release some videos about snooker just to kind of get people clicking on the YouTube channel, and then I'll make one about Extra Life.
Fascinating. I wonder if you could do this. Like, try to get in touch with professional snooker players and try to play them on the video game and see how skills transfer.
They've got to play it and own it and connect with me online, which is tricky.
It would be hard. Yeah, it would be easier if you could show up and be like, "Hey, I have this thing."
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon in them.
That's the one. So Snooker 19, I think it's had its day, but I will be playing it for 24 hours for this year's Extra Life, which is a charity where we raise a lot of money for kids who are terminally ill. Lovely. Right. I think we're done about Snooker 19. Duke, do you want to?
I will talk about Rocket League because,
Rocket League, go on.
People, listen, here's the thing. The crates are going away.
Hey, Duke, I played Rocket League this week.
Oh, dude.
On the PC.
Tell the story. On the PC, yeah?
On the PC. Yeah, I played it because I played with Matt, who you've played with before.
Yeah.
We was struggling to know what to play and played a bit of Rocket League and
have fun.
I have lost the touch.
Yeah. It's not like riding a bike. It definitely comes and goes.
I played so badly in the game of Rocket League that I was kind of thinking, man, maybe even Stu could give me a game here. Like, that's how bad it is. I mean, it's not true because, Stu's awful. But I was bad.
If your skills declined 50% since the last time you played it, his would also have declined, and he was at 2 skill levels, so now he'll be at 1 skill level, whereas you were at 100, now you're at 50.
That's right. Yeah, no, it was bad. I played really, really poorly. Matt, who I was playing with...
Hopefully you remembered that you can double jump by hitting the button.
You know what? I felt like I couldn't. Like, I just felt like I was like, am I missing something here?
Yeah.
Like,
it's so much about fluidity and like...
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I did score a couple of goals, so I did get back into it. But, man, you do lose the touch a little bit. Snooker's the same as well. Coming back after 2 weeks, I struggled to kind of feel like I was good at it, but I got there. So it's all good. Yes, Rocket League, no crates.
So the crates are going away. They're introducing something called blueprints. I don't really know exactly what it means. I haven't really looked into it too much. There's probably people writing about it. I don't have too much to say about it other than they said something about the trading that you currently do. If you have like 5 hats that you don't want, you can trade in those 5 hats for 1 item of the next level up, right? So if they're common hats, you trade in 5 common hats, you might get 1 rare hat, and then you trade in 5 rare hats for 1 very rare hat or whatever. And you can keep trading up that way, which is kind of, it's a nice system because eventually you'll get some stuff that's, pretty unusual and maybe valuable or whatever.
Yeah.
Or fun to use or whatever it is. You never get the really good stuff. They don't ever let you trade to like goal explosions or anything.
Of course.
But nevertheless, you can get banners and things that are sometimes nifty. The sense I get is that that's going away.
Okay.
It's not really clear exactly what the new system's going to be like, but it's going to happen soon.
I really wish they would just say, you can just buy it all for like 2-3 quid on the store.
Right. And the thing is that like if this is helping the servers stay up and the community remain active, I'm happy because a lot of games that came out when this came out probably don't have very active servers anymore, right?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, this has stood the test of time. Right.
And you don't have to buy it every year, which is nice. The way a lot of games.
I kind of thought that about Apex Legends, where like I played it for so many hours that I was, and it's free. Whereas Rocket League is not even free. Where I was kind of like willing to give them a bit of money for the season pass, and then the season pass wasn't very good and all sorts of stuff. I think Apex has come out with a new map and all sorts of stuff. But like, this model, it's the tip jar model. But the problem with the tip jar model is not most players and gamers don't think like we do. They're not rational human beings.
Right.
They're fucking idiots.
Well, and they're easily excited by shiny things, which, to be fair, I am too. Like when the new season pass or whatever it is comes out for Rocket League, I look at all the stuff you get when you buy the season pass, and I'm kind of like, ooh, that's a cool set of wheels. And then I think, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not paying money for, like, I already have plenty of cars that are customized to look cool, and I don't really need more cars. So it's not really worth it.
Adam in the chat says, I feel like when Stu isn't here, the shackles are off and you can talk about snooker and Rocket League. Yeah, we get that shit out of the way. Damn straight.
Suck it, Stu. I can just imagine him listening going, why are they talking about this?
Fucking hell.
So, I've been playing Rocket League this week. I'm down to gold in doubles, which is annoying. But whatever. You are not your khakis. You're not the contents of your wallet. You're not your Rocket League rank. So I'm trying to just enjoy the game. Recognize that when my rank goes down, I'm playing against worse opponents, which means they're going to make dumb mistakes that will allow me to score more often, which is nice. But then I also have a teammate who's bumbling around, and I'm obviously not playing very well if I'm in gold. So
I feel like every time I play Rocket League, I'm always playing my 10 unranked matches to get my rank.
Right.
Because every time I play it, it's like, hey, you need to play 10 matches to get a rank because you haven't played in so long. And I go, okay, this season I'm going to like get some rank and like do that stuff. And then I put it down and it's like, hey, it's a new season. You need your 10 matches of rank.
Damn it, I just...
Fucking hell. But no, this is a new season. There's a new leveling system that I didn't quite understand. You might be very au fait with it.
It's instead of... I don't even remember what it used to be, but it's, bronze, silver, gold. Platinum.
Because you got your XP.
Because well, your XP is different, right? Because your XP is just
your overall stuff,
right?
But then there's another one. There's like a blue one.
So there's three actually. There's your rank, which is where you stand competitively against other players. There's your XP level, and then there's the season pass level.
That's it.
That's
season pass level. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what the fuck is that?
That's how you get the stuff over the course of the season, by ranking. The more you play, the more stuff you get, basically.
Right.
And you get free stuff too, by the way. It's really, the nice thing is that they give you some free stuff. It's not nearly as cool as the stuff you get.
It's amazing that they keep coming up with shit to give you, isn't it? Really?
Exactly. No doubt.
But,
I mean, to be fair, a lot of it's kind of dumb, but
you must think like, the people that, I don't know this for sure, but the people who made Rocket League, that can't be a very fulfilling job to make stuff for a game that's already done well. You know what I mean? Like to make a game is a thing, but to just make loot for your game.
Make a hat. Now make a different hat.
I would imagine that's quite
different hats.
That's not very inspiring to work at.
That's why the interns get that job of like, well, their job isn't even to make the hats. Their job is to test the hats.
Yeah.
See how they look from different angles and whatnot.
Well, there you go. There's Rocket League and snooker. We got that out the way.
Go ahead. What do you got?
It's all good. Rob VTS is in the chat and he says, I hope Stu's feeling bad after him banging on about VR so much. I bought a Quest the other day. It's been pretty good, to be honest, says Rob.
Oh, sweet. Well, why do you want him to feel bad then?
I don't know.
Okay.
Rob's just mad that I got a chicken dinner before him, which is true.
I think so.
Right. Last week I was talking about Assassin's Creed, and I was talking about my epiphany that I had. Yeah. Do you recall what my epiphany was?
Your epiphany was that you don't need to constantly spend your life grinding through games you're not enjoying, and maybe it's okay to walk away from games.
That's right. And guess what? I have completely gone back on my word and decided to double down on Assassin's Creed Origins.
What do you mean by double down?
I mean, just double down as in, I've been watching a lot of poker videos as well, so I've got a lot of sort of poker jargon. I was going to tilt on the pre-flop kind of going on in my head. Right, yes, I've decided to go, you know what? I'm gonna give it another go. Assassin's Creed.
I don't have to finish playing all these games, but in this
No.
case, I'm going to.
I think I'm gonna make an exception for the bigger games, like the Horizons and the AAA stuff. But I think the smaller indie games, they're the ones that I'm not gonna really waste my time on unless they grab me like really in a cool way, like Hotline Miami, for example.
Yeah, right.
So I've played a little bit more of Assassin's Creed Origins. I must be about halfway through. I'm about level 30. For you, Eric, that's the number above 29, so you know.
Okay. I mean, I don't know numbers, so.
No, I know you don't do math.
Yeah.
So we call it maths over here in the UK because I don't know. It's just
So what has stood out to you most about this version of Assassin's Creed? Because I haven't played it in
it's
ages.
fucking big.
Yeah.
It's big and it's boring. Is the main thing. See,
So it's big, but is there stuff going on in that big
not
world?
really. It's just
Big for the sake of big.
You just kind of ride him around, and
Yeah.
you hear the same dialogue from all the fucking AI characters.
Right,
Like,
right.
there's one guy, and it's all in a different language, but he keeps kind of doing this. He goes blah 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 like that, and I hear him everywhere, right? And it's just like you ride past and you hear these characters in the game kind of talking, go whoa, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, fucking, it's that guy again.
Shut up.
Another game that I'm playing, which I'm going to talk about this week, it's kind of similar thing happens. But anyway, they've sort of done the combat, and I thought that everybody loved the combat on Assassin's Creed Origins, and it was me.
Well, yeah, it's the thing that mostly makes the game great.
Yeah,
And that's climbing.
but they've redone it, so all the controls are a bit different. I don't like it. I've just decided that I thought like maybe it was me not getting on with it, but I think it's me just not liking it at all. I kind of wish that we could go back to the old Assassin's Creed. I do have Assassin's Creed Rogue to go back to, which is the one what they made at the same time as 4, which is more pirates and shit. So it'd be interesting to go back to that and then go to Odyssey, which is the last Assassin's Creed made.
Right.
Because everybody bangs on about Odyssey as well. But if it's more of this, I'm not looking forward to it. Most people say, oh, but wait till you play Odyssey. Wait till you play Odyssey. And I really do hope that I enjoy it. Because I'm the kind of person that likes Assassin's Creed, that I'm willing...
Yeah, most of them, haven't you?
Almost all of them, right? And I'm usually the one willing to kind of praise it, even though it's not... I kind of give it the benefit of the doubt a lot of the time as well.
Enjoy the stuff about it, and you talk about positives. Yeah,
and I just think Origins has been just a slog, an absolute slog for me. There's one thing that happened in my playthrough of Assassin's Creed Origins that I found funny. I wrote it down. At some point, you go to the modern day. You're playing as a woman. In the memories and stuff, you're playing as a man, but you play as a woman who, in the modern times. And she's the one going through all the memories, and you get woken up, and apparently like Abstergo or wherever turn up, and you're in a cave in the middle of nowhere, and people turn up and try and kill you, right? But they have bow and arrows and not guns, right?
Okay.
So we're in 2019. They have bow and arrows, and there's a dialogue line, and the lady who I'm playing as says, they've got bow and arrows instead of guns. And she's talking to somebody over the thing. And the girl says, the woman who she's talking to says, maybe they just don't see you as much of a threat. And I was like, do you know how much fucking hassle it is to prepare a bow and arrow?
If you don't think of someone as much of a threat, you might just bring pool cues or something.
Yeah, you wouldn't bring anything. You just bring like little sticks. So it was very, very silly.
Line for that scenario, definitely.
Very, I don't know. I just didn't like it at all, and I'm not really enjoying it. But I'm doubling down on it. I'm gonna go all in and just play it, but nothing's really changed.
Like, how's the story?
No, I mean this is meant to be the origin of the assassins, but the problem is Odyssey is set before Origins.
Is it really?
Yeah, which is weird. I think they just have a little bit of a where shall we go next mentality.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Oh, totally.
And they don't.
I mean, I guess it makes sense that there would be a timeline that's sort of consistent, but
yeah. I played a section of Assassin's Creed Origins that maybe people will recognize. It's a kind of gladiator section, right? So what happens is, you for some reason have to fight these two brothers. I'm not sure why. I don't know really what's going on, but that's the quest. Great. So then you fight a few people to lead up to them, and then you fight the two brothers.
Right.
Fine. The problem is, I was trying to imagine how Rockstar would treat this. How you know what I mean? Like, and it just didn't feel very epic. It felt kind of like it couldn't. You know, when you think about the movie Gladiator and stuff like that, it's meant to feel like this roaring, crazy event that's kind of building up, and I just felt it was like a damp squib. It wasn't a very good quest. It didn't feel like I was in a gladiator arena, and they could have made a bigger deal of it. You know what I mean? It could have been this big thing.
Probably should have been. I mean, if it's a big part of the story, then they're not doing their job and bringing you into it.
I'd imagine when they're making the game, they're probably looking at the era going, okay, what's iconic about this era? The pyramids, the Sphinx, and all that sort of stuff. Oh, also gladiators, right? This was the period of gladiators. It's an iconic thing. People know about it. We've got to get a gladiator quest in, and then it just kind of felt a bit shit. And I was like, man, they could have. It felt like they missed the mark. They dropped the ball with it, and they just didn't. It just felt like a really boring quest. And there's no cinematic cameras. There was no build up. It was just three people that you got to fight, and then you fight the brothers. And I was like, oh god, this is bad.
They always make a big deal. I remember Assassin's Creed was the first game I ever saw that was making a big deal about this is the product of a group of people from around the world of different backgrounds and religions and yada yada. I wonder if they have anybody from Egypt working on this game. You know what I mean?
Ubisoft have developers everywhere. All right.
Yeah.
If you look up in the sky and check the moon, there are some Ubisoft developers on there.
I didn't realize they went that far with it.
Yeah, they do. They go crazy. So they probably do have them there or thereabouts, right? In the Middle East.
It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a good story.
No, it doesn't.
Some of them tell good stories. Some of them suck at telling stories.
I think what Ubisoft do is a triumph, really. They have studios all over the world that collaborate on everything. The credits in Ubisoft games go on for like an hour, right?
Yeah.
It is amazing, and the technology is amazing. The animation's amazing. The open world's amazing, and there's an exploration mode in Assassin's Creed Origins where you can take a tour, and you've got like dialogue and
I think they even offer that at a low price for educators or something.
Yeah, there's something like that, and as an education tool, you can see it. Do you know what I mean? Because what you don't do when you're playing an action game is look around very much. So if you play the exploration mode and go, oh, this building took me 2 years to make. Yeah. Right, and you're like, oh yeah, fucking hell! Like I should have looked around this. I do that a lot in games where I don't notice things because I'm thinking about the mission or killing someone. But that's Assassin's Creed Origins. I will keep playing it. I probably won't talk about it again until I finish it. Eric, what you got?
Yeah, so I played a little bit of Minecraft. I complained last week because the people that I played with on the 24 Karat Craft server aren't around anymore. And this week, some of them showed up, and I was like, yay! So I got to play with them, talking on the chat, building with them. I'm making this tower that is every level of it is a little smaller than the level below it. So it's going to become this pointy spire when it gets done.
So is this the Minecraft server where it's all realistic and shit?
It is. Well, I have a shader pack on it, so it is realistic in that sense. Like it looks more realistic than your standard vanilla Minecraft.
Dude,
but
you've linked to a map.
Yes, I have. It's the Dyn map.
What the fuck is that?
It's a real-time map of the people.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's one of the really nice things about playing on the PC is that you can access this.
Oh, because imagine we had one of these for the Realm. Oh.
I know, right? It would be so cool. And so anyway, this is just a way for me to show off my build is at 1740 2530, which is in the southeast part of the map. So if you basically just go south from spawn, which is the little diamond in the middle of the map. I don't know if you want to even bother putting it on the screen.
No, I've got it. I'm getting there.
Okay. Well, thank you. Because that way people can see my awesome build. Because, this is the thing with Minecraft, right? People make videos. It's awesome. I appreciate y'all doing that for our realm. But apart from that, there's really no way to show off the stuff.
This is so cool.
Yeah, the Dyn map is a very cool
thing. So where's your thing at?
So there's a big brown mesa.
Yes.
Yes, and it's at the sort of southern part of that, the brown area. If you keep zooming in, you can't see it.
I just want to explain what I'm seeing for people
Yes.
on the audio. Right.
Yes.
I'm looking at a map, which is kind of like, it just kind of looks like a map, but isometric, so it's kind of lying on a table, right? And you're looking at it
I should
standing up.
log in. I'll appear on the map.
That's
You can
right.
see my.
So
anyway, go on.
So I'm looking at this map, and I can see a bunch of names around the map and little icons next to the names. And these are players that are really in the map live, which is
there right now. Yes.
which is amazing. And then I can zoom in on the map, and I haven't zoomed in yet, but I can pretty much just zoom in.
Yeah, you can zoom in anywhere. And it was so funny because before they went live last Saturday. So the new season, the new map went live last Saturday. And there were about 50, 60 of us waiting for the thing to go live at 8 a.m. And so while we were waiting, we were looking at the map because they gave the link for the map like 15 minutes before it went live. And so we were all looking at the map being like, oh, look, there's a tower of, there's this new enemy villager type. They're called pillagers. And so people were like, oh, there's pillagers here at this spot. And oh, there's a village at that spot and whatever. So anyway, it's really kind of neat to be able to look around at the world from above.
It's amazing.
So I'm about to log in and you can see where I'm at. And
I
then
can
you
see
can
where
zoom
you're
in.
at.
I build there.
This is unbelievable.
It's really a nice thing. And they should make it standard for realms. We're paying a lot of money for that realm. That should be something we have access to.
Wow, yeah, it should be doable. Oh, there you go. I can see now
So
Duke. That's now
Yep.
popped up on the map. And
That's
he's,
right. And if
I
you zoom
can
in,
s- I-
see me.
so now I zoom in. I can see he's kind of like pancake-looking house.
That's right.
Uh,
And what I've done too is I've built around my house in 2 parts. Well, it's in 4 parts, but I haven't really filled it in yet much. It's water in the southeastern quadrant, and then crops in the northeastern quadrant, and then water in the northwest, and then crops in the southwest. Now, I don't have enough seeds to fill in all the crop land, so it's like half filled in and half not. But once it's done, I'm going to add fountains, and it's just, I don't know. I'm really happy with the way this is going down. And you can't see it right now on the map because I put the roof over level 2, but in level 2, there's a maze. So
wow.
when people come to my house and they want to get to the top, they'll have to go through a maze to get through level 2, or they'll break through the blocks. If people are really impatient, they could just bust through.
Yeah. I'm very impressed with
Thank you.
with
With the
this.
map.
With the map. Your build, not so much. But
Right. But the map, it really is a really nice feature, and that's one of the
amazing.
nicest things about playing on the PC. Like I said, it should exist for the realm, but it doesn't. So what are you gonna
yeah.
do?
The thing is, people are just never happy because then you do that, and then they go, "Oh, I want the map." And they go, "Well, we've
Yeah.
just given you a realm where you can all play on different platforms." Yeah, but now I want a map. And they go, "All right, we'll give you a map. Are you happy then?" No.
Hold on 1 second, Chenny.
Okay, I'm on my own. This is a very cool map.
Sorry, I just was at the window suddenly asking me what time it is.
What time is it?
It's 3:39 p.m.
There you go. Right. Oh well, I'm very impressed with that map. I like it.
Yeah, that's all I had to say about Minecraft.
Okay. What else have we been playing here? Been playing something else. I've been playing
Yeah.
something else. Hang on.
Hanging on.
Come
Yeah.
in. And
Okay.
got it. I've been playing a new game called Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Oh, yes, I saw
Da-da-da-da.
that. This is out.
Yes, so
I'm
this
excited.
is-
I loved Wildlands. You
You
played
did.
Wildlands too.
I loved
Yeah.
it as well.
Yeah.
This is the sequel to Ghost Recon Wildlands, and
Mm-hmm.
you can tell that it's the sequel. It feels the same ish.
In terms of the atmosphere, or in terms of the gameplay, or
The
both.
gameplay, like getting in a helicopter, and
So you have? Do you have the drone again?
you have the drone.
Are you in a squad of 4 people again?
No, not solo.
Okay. Interesting.
So when you play on your own, you're on your own.
Yeah. Is
Where-
it third person again?
Yes, and you
Yes.
can swap between first and third when you're aiming down the sights.
Gotcha.
So there are many differences. Now, just to start off, setting the tone. Wildlands reviewed very well.
Yeah.
Ghost Recon Breakpoint is currently like 45 on Metacritic.
Really?
Yes.
Why the difference?
The difference is, what is it on Metacritic? I can hear you tapping.
I'm actually grading papers at the same time, but I'm also pulling it up. It's 56%.
56. It seems to have gone up a little bit, but
That's the PS4 one. I don't know if maybe it's different.
The main reason why people seem to be up in arms about Ghost Recon Breakpoint and why it's not as good as Wildlands is that they've Division 2'd it. So the way it worked in Wildlands was like you shoot people, you do stuff, you get XP, you level up,
Right.
you get abilities, la da 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 da. Right, that's how you do it in Ghost Recon Wildlands. In Breakpoint, it's very much kind of Division 2 Destiny like, where you rank up with your gear. So you rank up using clothes,
Yeah.
which I don't like at all because I think it's dumb.
Yeah.
You have to kind of, rank up not rank up your guns, but you find loot and guns all over the place, everywhere.
Yeah.
And you have to constantly swap your guns all the time.
Sucks.
Yeah. And it's a real shame. However, I was really shocked about how low the score was. And I don't think it's that big of a deal. Now,
Yeah.
I'm playing it, and I played it and didn't look at the reviews or anything like that. I played it for about 5 hours on Friday night with Marsh. And I played it till 3 a.m. in the morning, which I haven't done for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And we just really enjoyed it. It's a sequel to Wildlands. It feels a little bit more grounded in some aspects. It feels like the animations have improved and the character. You can prone, but you can do prone camo.
Right.
So you can, put a lot of dirt all over you or mud all over you when you're prone, so you can hide even better. Basically, the story is like some Facebook technology business has gone dark, and you have to go in and save the day. So a lot of Division 2 loot elements added to it, but it does have a cool, especially at the start, a kind of behind enemy lines feel to it. You are literally dropped in Black Hawk Down kind of like style. And you do feel like you're in somebody else's territory. There are drones constantly looking out for you, and you do have to do the camo quite a bit because when you get seen by a drone, you're in trouble, especially if you're on your own.
Yeah.
Prone camo is cool. There is a little bit of Red Dead in it as well.
Really?
Yes,
In what way?
a little bit of Red Dead. So there's these camps. They're called something weird. I can't remember what they're called, but they're called something weird. But there's these camps that you can unlock that are spread around the map, and you have to rest in the game, and you have to drink water in the game, and you have to research things in the game. So basically, it's giving you a bit of the downtime moments. Now, it's not as deep as Red Dead. Not that you would know because you've never played it. But in Red Dead, your health can depreciate, where you have to kind of rest for it to go back up. You can't do anything but rest.
Gotcha.
So there's a bit of that. You can rest, or you can just drink some water, which is very easy to get. So you can fill your water up in a like a pond or something like that. So there's very easy ways to kind of get your energy back. So there's a little bit of Red Dead. You can tell they've borrowed some off it. The player gets fatigued and the player gets tired. And this is the other cool thing as well, is when you get injured, you can get a minor injury, so you won't be able to heal back, and your player will actually limp and cough and
And you have to do a med pack or something, or
so you have to do that.
it?
Yeah, so you do a syringe kit or something like that, and you'll get back in. Then you have a major injury where you can't even hold a big gun; you have to hold your pistol, and you can't move very quickly at all. So you can have kind of permanent injuries. Marshy was getting. I'm playing all this co-op, by the way. Marshy was getting this very annoyed because he had this ugly bandage on his foot that he couldn't get rid of. And the way you get rid of it is a med kit, and as a medic could give him one as a med kit. Cool thing that the medic has is an extra drone. There's 2 drones that the medic has, and I have a health drone, so I can kind of heal people up. I can also, this is one of the coolest things about being a medic, is that when I go down, I can heal myself. I grab the drone off my back, grab the little defibrillator, and shock myself, and I can get back up. So that's very, very handy because I go down a lot. So that's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. It's.
Are you having as much fun with this as you had the first week with Wildlands? Would you say?
No, but it's close.
Okay.
I think the critics are being very, very harsh, and every time I've read about 3 or 4 reviews, and they're all picking on this Division 2-ness of it and the loot, and I'm like, it is a bit of a pain. It is a bit weird. And in Division 2, you know where you got that kind of area where there's loads of different people running around. Yeah. I think what the game is trying to do, it took away the 3 AI players, and it's trying to encourage you to play with real people more. Because all that works pretty flawlessly, I have to say. Yeah. And when you walk up to somebody, you just have to hold X, and it says co-op, and then you can just play co-op with them. So I think the game's trying to take away the 3 AI players and make you. So the sync shot is still there, the drone, the way, like the enemies show up as a little sort of red haze on the map. Yeah, sure. And then you spot them on the drone. That's all there. Even the sounds of when they see you is all the same. Sure. It feels like there's a little bit more after you. There's a few more drones in the air. There's a little bit more hectic, but that's fine. Marshy said that the inventory system actually reminds him of PUBG a little bit janky. He didn't really like it. It's weird. When I see if I can explain this for our audio listeners. So when you press start, you go into your loadout, right? You can see it on the screen now, Dick. So you go into your loadout where you can see your sort of primary, secondary, and your gun. You can see the clothes that you're wearing, So to go from one screen to the other, so if you want to go to the maps or the missions or your skill points, you press I think it's the bumper buttons, right? When you press the bumper buttons, it's really slow to click over to the next page. Do you know what I mean? Right?
Yeah, sure.
But when you're in a page, when you're in the loadout, it's really quick to click the guns and swap them, and they have even every gun you go over has a little clicky noise. It's all very satisfying. So that's nice. But when you swap from one category, kind of like when you turn in the page, when you're on the page, everything's working pretty quickly. When you have to turn the page in the menu, it's very slow. It's a little bit of a weird thing that I'm picking on. But menus and UI is very tough to do, and I think the snappiness and the quickiness, new word, of it is very important. And I feel like it's just, again, slightly off. And I'll have to go back to Wildlands to see how good it was there, because I can't really remember. But it's you know what? Like I was shocked when I saw the reviews being so low on Breakpoint. I think it's a fine game. I think me and Marsh are having a blast. We really, really like it. I spoke to Mark Annex on a text message, and I saw that he's way ahead of me in levels, and he just cannot stop playing it. Yes, there is a lot of loot everywhere. It is a bit of a pain. I have this thing, especially when you got a bit of OCD, where you're in an area, you kill everyone, but there's these like kind of crates that line around with like cool stuff, and you're like, oh, I've got to get every one of those. Sometimes you shoot a drone and it'll drop like a fucking wicked weapon, and it's very satisfying when you get it. Do you know what I mean? Like it is very satisfying. I suppose people just didn't want their Division 2 in their Wildlands. Is kind of what it sounds like.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's not ideal. It's not what I would have chosen. But to me, it feels like they haven't made it. It feels like a definite sequel to Wildlands. It feels like more Wildlands, but it doesn't feel like the same stuff. The physics, the vehicles, the gunplay all feels the same, but the animations, some of the more realistic elements, the minor injuries, the major injuries, the loot, it does feel like they've stepped it up a notch. But I still prefer Wildlands. But I don't think this is much. I don't think this is far away. Generally, it's still fucking good, man.
Yeah, sure.
And if you know,
did you rent this or did you buy it?
No, I got it. But I just really like it. I enjoy games where I've got an open world and I can just, go around. That's why I love Fallout 4. Sorry, not Fallout 4. Sorry, Far Cry 4. Because we could play co-op, and it was just funny, and it leads to funny situations where you glide in or you parachute in. I have a recurring joke when I play games with Marsh. He knows what I'm doing. It's not funny, but I said, Marsh, the key thing is to remain silent and be stealth, and then I'll throw a grenade or I'll crash a car in, or that's kind of the running joke that I have. It's hilarious. We just really enjoy that kind of stuff. So I think it's getting a bit of a bad rep. Don't let the reviews put you off. I think it's a good game. Ghost Recon.
Cool.
Breakpoint.
I'll probably get it when it's cheap, and if the reviews aren't great, then it sounds like it'll be easier for it to get cheap quickly.
Yeah, I think it'll sell well though. Still, I think it's a very sellable.
Man.
It's a very sellable game. It's good. I think it's good. I think it's getting a bad rep. The story's garbage though.
Well,
the story.
I mean, the story in the last one was pretty much garbage too. So
the story is terrible. I tell you what, it does have though. It has very good checkpoints. So we've died a couple of times on missions, and it never takes you that far back. It always takes you pretty close to where you got to go. Some of weird things that it does though. So what I liked about Wildlands was the structure. You got these kind of bosses that you got to fight, and then you got to kill smaller bosses below them, and so on and so forth. In this, it's all about clues.
Okay.
So you've got to find clues.
Interesting.
Right. And there's two ways you can play it. You can play it normal, where you've got markers and, checkpoints and things on the map that tell you where everything is. Or you can play exploration mode, where because all the clues are like, oh, look for a building like this, or it gives you an X on a map, and it's like
you're actually doing a little bit of research or a little bit of detective work rather than just following the icon.
That's it. Yeah. So you can play it like that. I can't imagine anyone playing it like that, because some of the stuff that we have to find, I'm like, no way. There's no way I would have found it.
Yeah, sure.
For some reason in the cutscenes, there's a bit of branching dialogue. Not sure why. It seems a bit weird that it's there.
It's not. Your choices matter, man.
Choices matter. Yes. So that's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I think you would still enjoy it, Duke.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. I'll check it out.
So I give it the thumbs up. Mark Annex gives it the thumbs up. Marcia gives it the thumbs up. The critics don't, because of Division 2. But hey ho. Adam Birmingham in the chat says, Chin, we still have to have a Halo session going soon. Yes, we do. Duke, what you got?
I got a rhythm game called Musinx.
Wow.
It's from China, and all the music's in Chinese. So whereas in Rock Band, the songs, you can jam along with them. In this game, I don't know any of the songs, and presumably the people who play the game know the songs, but I don't know because I don't play it. Most of the audience is probably in China.
What made you play Musinx?
It was on sale for like $1, and I was like, I like Rock Band, I like rhythm games in general. Let's give it a try.
This is giving me a headache on how bright it is.
It's very bright.
Jesus.
It's very I don't even know how to describe it. Like,
it looks like a game made for gay pride.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a lot of rainbows, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
It's
I'm not even sure people at Pride would enjoy this. It's just too,
right.
Too much.
Yeah, it's a weird game. It's it's really hard to describe. It's not fun necessarily. Well,
good.
I should say it's not fun. It's hard to get into because it's songs you don't know, and the keys on the keyboard. So it's like D, F, J, K, right? So you have to hit those, and it's, I'm sure if I played it as much as I ended up playing Rock Band, I would get into it. You know what I mean?
It's on the Switch.
Oh, sure. But it's not, I don't know. I didn't really get on with it too much. The first song was very slow, and I liked that because I was doing okay. It's very forgiving. I'll say that about it. Whereas in Rock Band, as soon as you start missing a few, the crowd starts booing and whatever. This game, I was missing half of the buttons at least. And it was like, great job, A. And I was like, it grades you at the end of every level. I was like, I didn't deserve an A. I did garbage on that level. Why are you giving me an A?
Yeah.
So it's clearly for kids. It's there's a lot of songs, and some of them are like techno-ish, and they vary it with sometimes you have to just tap the button, sometimes you have to hold it down and things like that. I don't know. I'm gonna keep playing some of the things because I'm curious to know if I find a song I really like, maybe I'll play it over and over and get really good at it. But so far, I got exactly what I expected out
And
of
there's
it.
only 4 buttons.
And there's only 4 buttons. They do have a 6-button mode, but I'm not
Oh.
ready for that yet. Yeah.
Okay.
It's so much harder when you don't know the songs, you know?
I'm going to pass on musics.
I don't blame you.
All
It's not a great game.
No.
It's cute, and I think that if you need a rhythm game fix, this is a cheap way to get it. But it's not great. It looks good. The aesthetics are interesting, and it varies significantly from board to board. So, one level will look like you said, it's all rainbows and happy clouds. Another level will be, a techno landscape with neon colors and everything. So, yeah, they've got a lot of variety in the visuals, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
that's all
I've got nothing else. So
I have one more.
all right.
Yeah, there was a free weekend this weekend for a game called Battalion 1944. So I gave it a shot. And
Is this a World War II first-person shooter online game?
Yes, it is.
Bam. Didn't even know.
However, did you guess?
I don't know.
It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a first-person shooter set in World War II. They have crates up the ass. It's as soon as you start the game, it's like you got 5 crates.
You got
Open them
5
up.
crates, motherfucker.
Yeah. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Here's
Here's 17 crates about a game that you're only gonna play once.
It plays well. There's smaller maps, fast respawn. There's no vehicles, so that's nice. It's not all complicated like Call of Duty is.
We're gonna make. I'm doing the pitch tier for this game right
Yeah.
now. Right. We're gonna make a game that Call of Duty fans, true Call of Duty fans, where the franchise started. Okay. But we're gonna put a modern twist on it. And then the
Okay,
big
what's the modern twist?
crates.
Oh, I like it.
Crates.
But doesn't Call of Duty have crates now?
Let's not focus on what the other guys are doing. But isn't this a game focused on what the other guys are doing? Kinda.
But we're stripping it down to its essence.
We're stripping it. People don't want all these distractions, People want World War II and crates. That's what they want.
And the other thing that it does is that it has like a competitive mode. Like that's the main mode, basically. It's sort of, I get the sense that it's kind of, what's that fucking called? What's the Steam shooter? Global Offensive Counter-Strike.
Yes.
It's sort of like that because it's competitive. There's like 12 rounds. You only get 1 life per round. If there's an objective, you have to attack or defend. That sort of thing. Now, I don't play these games for that. I've never been good at those objective-based games. So I didn't even try that. I probably should have if I'm going to talk about it. But you know what? I'm an American. I don't need to know about things in order to talk about them.
Correct.
So I play the arcade mode, which has a bunch of different game modes, including Team Deathmatch. Now, Team Deathmatch is what I'm all about. I love Team Deathmatch. That's what I tend to play whenever I play these first-person shooters. The Team Deathmatch, but you can't play just Team Deathmatch. You know what I mean? You play the arcade mode, it throws you into a server that has randomized game modes.
Okay. So you can't just say Team Deathmatch, that's it. But you've got to just get what you're given.
But they have a server browser. So you can go looking for a server that is doing just Team Deathmatch. Yay!
Server browsers.
But there's nobody playing on those servers. Boo.
Okay.
It's like on The Simpsons when Homer's getting every wish has that curse. But it also comes with yogurt, free frozen yogurt. That's good. The frozen yogurt has dihydrogen colloxide.
Is that
That's
good?
bad. Yeah. Anyway, so this game is, I can't imagine paying money for it. If it were a free game like Iron Sights or, Blacklight Retribution, maybe I would get into it. But the way it is, I'll pass.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a glowing review for... What was the name of the game?
Yep. Battalion 1944.
Battalion 1944.
Yep.
While we're talking about online shooters, and we've got nothing else to talk about, and we're very rapidly running out of show. What are your excitement levels for Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the new one that's coming out?
First of all, I didn't even realize it was on its way. I should have known, but I did.
Yep.
And I'm not, I couldn't. I haven't played a Call of Duty since Black Ops 3, I think. So like I really have been out of it.
But this one's
And-
Modern Warfare, man. Let me give you the
Okay.
pitch for it. Okay.
Go ahead.
We're just going to capture what Call of Duty Modern Warfare fans want. And that's
Like really stripped down.
really strip it down and, give them...
But they can't. They're not gonna strip it down. They're gonna have all the different.
We're going to strip it down, but add in all the perks and all the crates we can. But strip down.
Strip down.
Strip down with all
bonus.
the... Strip it down with all the features.
Right.
Okay.
What about you? Are you gonna get it?
I am going to get it by default. I'm going to get it because I bought Ghost Recon Breakpoint, so now my brother from another mother, my
That's-
Xbox brother from another... Well, to be fair, he's not buying it because I bought Breakpoint. He's buying it because he's buying it, right? And I was
Right,
like,
yeah.
well, I bought Breakpoint, so he's going to buy that. He's
Yeah.
also buying FIFA, but I never play FIFA. So I'm gonna get it anyway. But I am excited for it. I've purposely not watched anything about it though, because I think we're living in an era where we're kind of trying to find the nostalgia of the mid-noughties, late noughties era, where everybody kind of played games on the same console, which is the 360,
Yeah.
because the PlayStation wasn't that good
Right.
at the time. Very good now. And there wasn't that many multiplayer games
Right.
out, and there wasn't many good ones, first-person shooter, that all your mates played.
And Call of Duty had just recently cracked the formula of COD 4, so
Right.
we're still coasting on kind of like the newness of it, and they didn't have to keep adding so much
No,
in every game.
I think Halo had the market, right?
Yeah.
Halo was the shooter,
Yep.
and to say that Call of Duty was going to kill Halo would have been a ridiculous statement in 2004, because Call of Duty wasn't the game that it was today.
No,
It was the kind of underdog, a good World War II shooter that should...
It was about the same as Medal of Honor.
That's
at the
right.
time.
And it should stay in World War II and get the fuck out of Modern Warfare, because and I remember seeing the trailer for Modern Warfare thinking, fucking hell, that looks great. And then the beta came out and everything changed, and everybody was playing the same game, and that lasted till about 2010, 11, right, where everybody was kind of playing, and even a little bit longer than that, and then we all scattered, right? Everybody scattered away. The market got saturated, and I feel like we're living in an age where developers are just trying to recreate that nostalgia and kind of banking on it, because people will buy that nostalgia. And it works on me, because I'm like, yeah, let's get back to that, man. And one thing that they've added in the new Call of Duty, which really captures myself and the people that I played Call of Duty with back in the day, well, there's two things, actually. One is Headquarters. Headquarters was the game mode that we all played. Headquarters.
I played it a little bit, and I don't really like those game modes, but I remember having a lot of fun with it, because again, if it's a squad, then it's a lot
Right.
more fun if you're with randoms.
Headquarters. The great thing about Headquarters was that it moves you around. So Team Deathmatch encourages camping and things like that. Headquarters was a case of like, it moves every sort of so often. You have to capture it, and then you have to hold it. And it's great for earning XP. You level up really quickly. You move around on the map. It's kind of like the perfect game mode. I didn't really like Search and Destroy, but Search and Destroy was very popular as well. So it's got those things, right? I like Modern Warfare. I don't really like things to be too futuristic in my Call of Duty, which is kind of weird because I like Halo, but it's a different breed of dog, right? It's just different. So I prefer Modern Warfare. So it's kind of ticking all the boxes for me. But we've been here before, and that was Call of Duty World War II. And everybody thought they wanted World War II. It comes and it goes, and everybody realizes that they didn't. And everybody's saying, no, but this is the Call of Duty that we really want. And I know that we don't. But because we'll never go back. We'll never have the same last that we had.
You can't go back. That's why rebooting a franchise over and over again in a movie isn't ever going to work, because you're not going to capture the same thing that you're yearning toward.
That's right. Yeah, so that's one thing I've got to credit Breakpoint for. Like they kind of try to add stuff in, like we're doing this in Division 2, let's put it in this. They're not making the same game. At the same time, I would have preferred more of the same. But anyway, I think the gaming industry is in kind of like a nostalgic mode with its online shooters. It's really trying to bank on getting it all back. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the new one, will be a fine game. It'll probably be very, very good. It's got a Spec Ops mode in it as well, which is the other thing that I really, really liked about Modern Warfare 2. It's got like a kind of co-op missions mode in it, which appeals to me. So, I hope it's good. I always hope it's good, but I don't think it's good.
Not holding your breath.
I'm not holding my breath at all. I'm watching more footage of this Battalion 1944. So, it's a poor man's Call of Duty.
It is a poor man's Call of Duty.
But a poor man's Call of Duty these days is still good standard of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it can be, sure.
I look at this.
To me, it seems odd, though, because it feels so much like a free game. Like, the menus aren't too polished. The crates are everywhere. The server browser's kind of janky. And so the fact that they're asking, like, $25 or $30 for this is surprising to me.
Yeah. It is a little bit strange. Maybe they think there's negatives to having a game free.
Yeah. Oh, sure, absolutely. But then then it seems like give the crates a fucking rest.
Yeah. I don't know how to win. Okay, that's that. We don't do news.
No, I thought I just saw something. Oh yeah, there's a Fallout pack coming out. The deluxe edition value pack or something of Fallout games, Fallout 3, New Vegas. I thought I saw something else in that, but it's only coming out in the UK and Germany.
Oh.
So the big thing is that Fallout 3 will be more stable on the PC. Let me see if I can find the article again. The leaked Fallout, this is PC Gamer. The leaked Fallout Legacy Collection is real, but it's only coming out in the UK and Germany. The existence of the leaked Fallout Legacy Collection containing Fallout, Fallout 2, Fallout Tactics, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, and Fallout 4, in addition to all associated DLC, has been confirmed by Bethesda UK. Unfortunately, they also confirmed that it's only going to be available in the UK and Germany.
Do you want me to ship it over?
I don't really care, to be honest. The early games, I don't have any interest in playing. I never tried Tactics. I can play Fallout 3 anytime I want already. Yeah. So that's not really on my radar. I don't, whatever. But I saw it and I thought, some people might be interested, especially if you're in the UK and you can get it. I don't know anybody who loves these games who doesn't already have them. So I don't really know who it's aimed at. But the stability of Fallout 3 is the only thing that really caught my eye in terms of like actually being useful. But
okay, looking at the news now, some of Ghost Recon's Breakpoint's most egregious microtransactions weren't meant to be there at launch, apparently. So there is some microtransactions. To be honest, I don't know where they are. The game's never once felt like I've needed to buy anything.
That's interesting.
I feel like people get annoyed by the concept of microtransactions rather than if it fixed the game, fine. I don't even know where they are. Right? It hasn't.
You're not feeling that. You're not feeling it. So.
I'm not. I just. I didn't even really know, to be honest, that it had them. Fine, but apparently they wasn't supposed to be there the way they are at launch. I think the tactic these days is to trickle it in, because if you leave them there at launch, you get such bad press from the reviews, and then you put them in later when all the reviews are done. So that's what Battlefront 2 that's the Battlefront 2 lesson. Right. So that's that. Apex Legends Halloween event has been leaked. So Apex Legends continues to get updated all the time. There's a new map on Apex Legends that I've yet to try. But Halloween is coming, and it's gonna have zombies, dead teammates coming back to life, and that kind of stuff. Probably a few skins here and there. Very, very cool. You know what? I want to get back into Apex Legends. I really do. I love it.
I downloaded it, but I haven't played it.
It's great. It's great. Yeah. It is great. It does feel just brilliant. But the whole sort of battle royale genre has kind of escaped me now. I don't really have a massive yearn for it.
I think if you have the drive to win it, then it's gonna be a game type you want to keep playing.
Yeah.
But speaking personally, I was on a team that had a chicken dinner once, I guess. But I don't really have a lot of hopes that I'm ever gonna get it. So that's why I like Team Deathmatch or Battlefield, because I can go around and steal some control points. I can get more kills than deaths. Insurgency is fun because I can just mow down the bad guys in PvE mode. But Battle Royale doesn't appeal to me because it's all based on like you're trying to be the best out of 100 people. And I'm generally not the best out of 100 people in any video game.
But that's the thrill.
I'm sure it is. And I'm sure someday I might experience it, but
Yeah.
I haven't yet, and I don't think it's very realistic. So I see it as something I don't want to like bash my head against.
Right. I think we've exhausted some news.
Yes.
All the other news looks boring. So
Right.
we got 2 emails.
Okay, let's get to some emails, people.
Whoa, that rules.
You can send us an email at podcast@veterangamers.co.uk. Podcast@veterangamers.co.uk. You just do it now. Just do it on your phone. Doesn't matter if you're driving. Just do it.
Yeah.
Right. We got the first email from the Great Owl, which is Jason Gallagher. I don't know. Sometimes Jason sends emails. I should read them before I read them out loud. I don't know what's.
It creates more excitement if you just go off.
Because he doesn't say hello. He says, brackets, rings the bell loudly.
Ding, ding, ding.
So I think around 2010, you guys were loving a show about a man with no morals. It's depressing, disgusting, and pure evil. Do you have any idea what he's talking about?
I don't. I mean,
Okay.
It sounds kind of like Game of Thrones, some characters, but
I do like the parallels. I enjoy the foreshadowing. They really nail down the crooked attorney and the ever so entertaining speed of a backpacking tortoise. 'Tis an addictive story. I'm just starting season 3, but I hope these fuckers all go down in flames.
What is it? Is he talking about Breaking Bad?
I think he is. The kind of flames you see in an airplane collision. No loose ends. Yes, he's talking about Breaking Bad. Don't tell me, though, Chinny, season 3 is starting now. They've released a film for Breaking Bad. Have you seen this?
Oh, is that out? I didn't know. I know that they're
El
going to.
Camino is the name of the film.
It's a Jesse story, right?
It's what happens to well, we don't want to say too much just in case people, but it's what happens to Jesse. So, yeah, it's interesting that they've made a film. The only thing is that Aaron Paul's got a massive head now. So I don't know if they explain that in the plot, why his head is so huge.
Yeah.
His head's not as big as in season 1. It gets bigger.
It's going to come out in October 11th in the US.
And throughout the 5 seasons of Breaking Bad, his head just grows in size. Not sure why.
Yeah.
Maybe it's all the stress.
And it's going to be on Netflix for the record, so people can watch it that way.
As Spielberg described Netflix films as straight-to-DVD movies.
No, there's some really good ones.
He shat on them. Shat on them, he did. Right. This is from Sumu. Christian.
Sumu!
Christian.
Yeah.
He said, message in the title, it just says, the subject line says, fucking love you guys.
Yeah, we fucking love you too.
Question, have you ever made a purchase that you love and you are so happy with, but when somebody else asks you about it, you sound like a complete and utter bellend? Let me finish the...
Mist book would be one of those, I think.
the Mist book, yeah. So his email it goes on to say, I've had a Peloton bike since May. I think a Peloton bike is... Oh, I know what it is. It's this... I've seen adverts for this. So basically, it's an exercise bike, right? Just a normal standard exercise bike. However, it's got like an iPad on it, right? And what happens is you've got exercise classes that are live or on demand.
I got you.
So you can.
Isn't that going to be more expensive to get that specifically than it would be to have like a stationary bike and then buy some classes?
I think it's a subscription, to be fair.
Okay.
But I think the idea is that you can get the experience of a real spin class
Yeah.
in your home, because if you do the live ones, you're doing it live with a real instructor, and you've got like a chart where you're going fastest or you're the slowest or whatever, and on the on-demand one, I think kind of works the same way. You kind of pretend that you're cycling live, so you can keep up with the people that did it live. So that's it. But basically, Sumu says that it's changed his life. But when people comment on me looking better, and ask me what I've been doing, I preach the way of the Peloton bike. But I hear myself and I think you sound like a dick. Have a great weekend, guys.
All right. Well, thank you.
It's the new Peloton bike that I've got.
You could use stand to lose some weight.
Yeah, actually, it's kind of like a spin class in my house. Actually, yeah, it's fantastic. Christian, I was thinking about going the opposite way, and getting an electric bike, because I'm lazy.
Yeah.
But electric bike would save you a lot of money.
Versus as a car.
Yeah, in the commute to work.
Yeah. The Duchess hates them, by the way, electric bikes. She thinks you should just go ahead and ride an actual bike.
Of
that's
course.
what she does, and everybody ought to be as hardcore as her.
Yeah, well, no.
The thing that really, I agree with her, though, on electric skateboards. Have you seen these?
No, I love those.
Fucking stupid.
I
just
love 'em.
get a skateboard.
No, I love them. Because
No.
you can't go that fast on a real skateboard.
You can if you're going downhill.
I suppose, but you can't. See, on a bike, you can go pretty fast level, right?
Yeah.
On a skateboard, you can't go that fast.
That's true. You can't.
I want one. But the problem is...
Well, I won't tell the Duchess if you get one.
I'm really bad at skateboarding.
Right. I would like to see how they slow down and stop, because I only ever see people taking off on them.
So there's different ones. There's the boost boards,
Okay.
where you've got like a remote in your hand.
I got you.
So you can speed it up and slow it down with the remote in your hand. Then you've got the skateboard it's got like a big wheel in the middle. There's not multiple wheels. It's got like a big wheel in the middle, and you just kind of balance it yourself.
Okay.
And so you tilt it forward, and it'll go forward electronically,
How about that?
and all that sort of stuff. It's kind of like those stupid hoverboards that everybody was
Right.
fucking around with. That's it for emails. We only had 2.
Yeah. Have a speak pipe, though.
Oh, good.
Speak
Pipe, it's the way to leave a message for us.
So this is from Dark Signs.
Lovely.
And it's 1:15, so let's have a listen.
Hello, veteran gamers. It's Derek Sains again. And I am looking forward to your coverage of EGX this year, which I think is in a couple of weeks, I believe.
That's right.
I'm not going to be there myself due to moving house. Money's a bit tighter than I thought, but I am hoping to be there for next year's event, which may feature the new consoles. We'll see. But I was looking at your lineup of people you're going to be interacting with, and there's lots of podcasting talent, lots of heavy hitters there from the podcasting scene, as well as Stu. I know you're a heavy hitter. But
heavy
it sounds and looks from the lineup that there's, to borrow a phrase from the Flight of the Conchords, there's going to be too many dicks on the dance floor. But I'm sure a good time will be had by all. But I don't want to leave you without a question this week, and simply it's this. I've been looking at the reviews of the new film Joker, or The Joker, whatever it's called, with Joaquin Phoenix, and they all seem pretty positive. And I was thinking, is there a character in a video game or a film or a TV series, maybe a villain or a minor character or a side character who you thought deserved their own chance at a game or film, whatever, and just it's never happened, but you want to see it happen? And I think I'll leave it at that, keep it short. So I'll just say, keep on gaming.
It's an appropriate, because short speak pipe for a short show. Chinny, you got a side character or a villain or someone that you developed into and get their own story? Should I go first? Because I have one.
Go for it.
Yeah, there's a character in Star Wars named Asajj Ventress, and I first encountered her. She's apparently in the TV show Clone Wars, but I haven't seen that, so I don't know. But I encountered her in a Star Wars novel that I read once upon a time, and in it, someone says, this Jedi goes up to her and says, "Hey, we have to fight. in our way. We need to get this person, whatever. And they said, you shouldn't really be a servant of the dark side. And she says, light side, dark side, that's just your way of looking at it. I just think of the Force as being this thing that we can use, and it's not about good and evil. And I had never considered that with regard to the Star Wars universe. So she had a very interesting perspective, and it wasn't just something a bad guy says when they want to just make excuses for themselves. You get the sense it actually is something, she has a way of thinking about things. It's a little deeper than just good versus evil, and it's all very simplistic. So I really like that. And I think she's a cool character. She looks cool. She's got this bald head, and she's got weird looking lightsabers. So I would love to see an Asajj Ventress movie.
I think I've just found her on the screen.
Yeah.
There she is. I don't know, really. I just can't think of...
Is there somebody in GTA universe that might make...
I think... No. I just think... it's a bit of a cop-out, but... I was just a huge fan of Bully. And the main kid in Bully, I think his name is Jimmy.
Yeah.
I think wouldn't it be cool if they made a modern Bully or a GTA and he was the main guy?
Sure.
I think that would just be a
next generation type of thing.
Yeah, I just think that would be a nice.
Like his son goes to the same school.
Yeah, I think we're getting to that point now where he could be his son. Yeah, I would like another Bully. I suppose another answer is Dutch from Red Dead. Dutch is the kind of... He's kind of the bad guy in 1, and I won't spoil it for you, but he's a massive part in 2.
Yeah.
But he's an interesting character, and it'd be cool to play as him in his younger days.
Seems like the rule about no spoilers ought to expire at a certain point if the individual is being a dipshit about not playing a game.
Yeah.
It's like, I gave you a chance to learn about this story, Duke. You have to... I'm not going to tiptoe around it anymore.
I think my rule is about 2 years. If a game's been out for 2 years, everything's
We're coming up on it.
Yeah, we are actually. I think another year and you're going to get it all spoiled for you. Yeah, but Dutch is an interesting character. There's another character called Seth, I think it is, in Red Dead, which I really liked. And it'd be nice to have a game about him. But I think there needs to be a strong female character in a Rockstar game. Kind of shocked they haven't done it. I'd like to know what Rockstar's take on playing on a woman as a woman would be, because women get kind of treated differently. And I think, for its faults, Mafia 3 did a great job of representing like what it's like to play as like a black guy in the 70s. So like,
still haven't played that, but I should.
It's great. The way they treat that is good. The whole game part of Mafia 3 is bad.
Sure.
But it's fascinating that they just went for it, and like there's a lot of games where they just kind of ignore like things like racism and stuff.
Right.
I kind of my point about Call of Duty World War II, remember, was that there's like a general in Call of Duty and he's a black guy.
Right.
And he's like, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
All right. There's not bossing white people about. There were like generals of like black troops and stuff like that happened. But that just wasn't the way the world worked back then.
I remember there was a Robin Hood movie with a black dude in it. I'm like, really? Come on. Like, you're just trying to make your product look more diverse, which is in itself, like by itself, that's, I guess, a decent goal. But if you do it in such a clumsy way and you try to make believe that things happen that clearly didn't or that don't fit with a certain story structure, that's just silly.
Yeah, it's silly. But I credit Mafia 3 for like just going, nope, there's racism in our games.
And we're going to make part of this game.
And you're going to... It's a tiny, tiny fraction of it, but you're going to have a tiny fraction of what it's like to be a black man in New Orleans in the 70s. And it was, it was cool to kind of have that insight and a game to have the balls to do it.
Yeah.
So I kind of want Rockstar to because I don't think they'll ever do it, which is a bit tragic. I don't think they'll ever make you play as a woman.
You never know.
I think Rockstar are so sort of stuck in the. A GTA game is about the American dream, and it's about what America means,
right?
And what it really is, and that's kind of what like a GTA game is now.
Yeah.
And they famously said that, oh, would you ever set a GTA game in the UK, in London? And they said, what a GTA game now is it wouldn't fit what it means. It's got to be in America. And I kind of think that about men as well. I think it's a very sort of man-led game. So I don't think they'll do it. I wish they did. It'd be interesting to see. Maybe Mafia will do it. Maybe Mafia will make you play as a woman. That's all I can think of.
Okay.
And I think that's the show.
I think that is.
That's the show. It's a short show.
Get the hell out of here.
I say it's a short show, but that's probably how long the show should be. An hour and a half. Snooker 19.
Short show.
Somebody says, brings up a good point in the chat. DJ Megatroid 87 says Snooker 19 should let you play as women snooker players.
Yeah, they should.
They've certainly got the balls to do it.
Yeah, really.
It's a joke. It's a joke. La da 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 da. So that's the show. Thank you. Sorry, it's a short one.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
But that's the way it is. So my first shout out is to Stu. How dare you be a Skyver, you bastard. And that's about all I have. Shout out to Marsh for playing some video games with me this week. It's nice to actually play video games with him because we don't get a lot of time together these days. Duke.
Yeah, shout out to XJ Ryder in the chat and Rob VTS. They're in the Twitch chat, and there's other people I think maybe in the YouTube chat or whatever.
There is.
Yeah, shout out to Antonio because he's always chatting on the Twitter, and shout out to Stu, feel better, buddy, and shout out to Derek Sines for sending us all those cool speak pipes all the time, and everybody who sent us emails. And y'all are going. Is EGX next week?
I'm stalling. I hope it's not. No.
Okay. So we'll have another.
Yeah. So I'm gonna upload some videos on YouTube about EGX, like the build up to it. Obviously, when we're there, I'm gonna do some stuff and all sorts of craziness.
Watch for that in May of next year.
Yes, coming up May. So next week is a normal show as usual, and then
cool.
It's
we'll see you there.
EGX week. Lovely stuff.
EGX. Right.
All right, we're done.
We're done. Thanks for listening, everybody.
What do I look like? A guy who's not
Boy, I really hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
Lovely.
Yeah.
This is where we say stuff. So it goes on the
not
end.
The official show.
Yeah, it's hilarious, this bit.
Bonus thing for people who stay after the end credits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you playing, Duke?
That's here.
Let's just go back to the start of the show. What are you playing?
What have I been playing? I've been playing Grade These Papers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Some students do not put a lot of effort into this assignment, man. Make up a character. Answer some questions about the character. What's his favorite food? Pizza. And like it says, like, give us a detail about, a memory connected to this food, right? And I say you have to write 2 sentences each. Pizza. Really? That's all you got? Pizza? Come on.
What about
when the first time he tasted it, or what he likes on his pizza, or it could be anything.
What about pizza? Because he used to always have pizza with his sister, who has now gone away to college. About that.
Fine. Full credit.
Excellent.
I thought you were going to say grandmother. Most people make it about the person's grandmother. So the fact that you made it about his sister, awesome. You stand out from the crowd.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, I think I do pretty well in your class.
Done.
All right.
Yeah. All right. That's the show, people. Stop.